My name is Laura Schifrin, and I would like to bring the meeting to order of the Select Board on March 10th, 2025 at 6:03 p.m.
Veronica Cal present.
Laura Schifrin present. Lisa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Lisa Mead, Town Council.
Nelson Moy, Town Administrator.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Thank all for our veterans as well as our military currently serving and all of our emergency response volunteers and their families. I'd also like to thank all of the volunteers that we do have and all of those who have chosen to run for a position here in the town. Still looking for volunteers, so please do join us. The meeting is being recorded and uploaded to YouTube. Is anyone else recording this meeting? Chairman's additions and deletions. I would just like to say that, of course, the special town meeting is at 7 p.m. this evening. Hope many of you can join us. Sure, I do have a couple of things that I'm going to mention in work session before we adjourn. Just let me know. There are no minutes this evening. And so 4.1, we are here to review, discuss the warrant articles for special town meeting at 7 p.m. Awesome. And Lisa's here from representing our town council.
So I think, let me see. I think there's a few articles that might warrant some discussion. Article 1, I think the planning board has decided to take no action and revise it and submit it for annual town meeting. Is that my understanding? The age restricted development article.
Yes, I believe we did that, as well as Townsend Trust, the Affordable Trust bylaw. Did I send that to you?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
I haven't gotten back. I have to meet with the board.
Okay.
And all, so I haven't gotten back. She sent me again today and I haven't responded to her.
Okay.
I responded to her last week, but that's for an April 7th hearing, correct?
Okay. So we will have a public hearing for both as far as planning goes once we hear from you.
Okay.
At the same time before the annual, hoping that the two separate take care of one for affordable and the other for age restricted, with more clarity.
Okay, and I have to ask a question. What is the date for publication for a hearing on the 7th? Because
2 weeks before the hearing.
Okay.
2 weeks before the
so
hearing.
That means we have to meet like next week at the latest. I don't even know if my board's in town, but that's all right. Okay, thank you.
Let us know. Thank
all
you.
Right. Who is reading this article? Article 1, will that be the planning board?
I don't, Beth hasn't told me what they're doing.
I mean, will they say, I move that the town take no action, or is that something that one of us is doing?
I can do that.
Okay.
If that's easier, because
So this is Laura.
I'm not sure
Okay.
who's going to be there tonight.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I can do that.
So I think last time we had a special town meeting, you guys just alternated back and forth reading the articles. So Lori will have Article 1.
Okay.
Article 2 will be read by Veronica, and this one is.
This is the town clerk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have some more information for me on Article 2 with the backup that I asked?
I have the list, but I haven't done a lot of analysis on it, so I don't have, like statistics to sort of throw around in terms of,
I was hoping we would have that
okay,
for
I
tonight.
haven't had time to dig into
I know the budget's taken up most of our time, but this is like months ago.
My question for Lisa is on this article. Do you want me to ask it, or do you
Sure.
want me to wait until after? All right, so it's elected versus appointed
Mhm.
town clerk.
Mhm.
An appointed town clerk would be an employee of the town.
Correct.
All right, if the town clerk is elected, are they an employee of the town?
Yes, they are.
They are.
Yeah.
Are they subject to or able to, are they benefited?
Yeah, they would receive the benefits that every other employee does.
Okay, so my question is, we have always, our town clerk told us during our budget hearings that she was not a benefited employee. And that was news to me because she was in the retirement system. She had the ability to purchase
Health insurance.
Now, our charter says that no elected employee is paid unless there is a warrant article at town meeting.
Right, that's state, yeah, so state law requires that elected officials have a separate article to approve their salaries and benefits.
Okay, we have never approved benefits.
Oh,
We have
so that's-
only ever approved salary.
Okay,
So have we been doing it wrong this whole time?
yeah, so you typically would, having not read what you've done,
Yeah, that's
Um,
okay.
typically the vote would be to pay for the salary and benefits of the elected position. I mean,
We don't have any elected officials who get paid
Except for the town
except the
clerk.
town clerk.
right, I guess that would be the only full-time elected official.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
that's
That's
why.
paid.
Right, but is there any other full-time elected official?
Well,
I don't know,
that
I would
depends.
consider
Well,
myself
no, I know,
full-time.
I understand that, but you know what I mean? So,
I don't think there is, besides the town clerk.
Then
No,
I have
there-
another
there isn't,
question
but
for
there are
you.
volunteers that spend a lot more time.
And I'll have to look at the warrant articles to see how it's worded,
yeah,
but
So she
is-
has gotten benefits.
so she has gotten benefits,
Yeah,
definitely. She's
without
retiring.
the vote.
Well, I would want to check the warrant article before I stated that, but, so the next question is, and it just, okay, so
This'll come up
is
again.
the town clerk subject to the policies of the select board?
Tim-
Or is the person able to set their own hours and do whatever they like?
And they're autonomous.
correct. As an elected official, they are not subject to the policies of the select board.
Thank you. If warrant article states.
Sometimes, I want to be clear, so that the reason I'm looking is sometimes the towns specifically state in their budget the position of the town clerk, let's say, for example, specifically called out in the budget. So the question is, did your budget include that? If the warrant didn't include it, you know what I mean? If there wasn't a separate article.
Well, our budget did, in the fact that we included in the budget the 75% of health insurance that we pay for an employee.
Yeah.
And whatever the state requires that we put in for retirement.
Yeah. So those are
So
benefits.
in that respect, yes, those are benefits.
Yeah.
So in that respect, it is included, but it isn't called out specifically either in the budget or, if I remember correctly, in the warrant article, but I'd have to check that to be certain.
Yeah, and I'm gonna check a couple of other places just to let you know specifically.
Because for me, that makes a difference in whether you're elected or appointed. If you're an appointed, then are you still subject to the policies of the select board or no?
Yes, if you're appointed,
Well,
you
you're an employee
you become an employee of the town.
There's. there'll be
Okay,
a
so you're
contract.
not an employee of the town if you are elected.
Right, so you're an elected employee, right? So that, because, for example, under the conflict of interest law, everybody's an employee of the town, right? Like, so,
Is that true?
yeah, under the conflict of interest law, everybody, volunteers, that they define employee as volunteer.
So we
Paid
are
person.
all special town employees.
You're not special town employees, you're employees of the town under the conflict of interest law,
Yeah,
Right.
Okay,
right?
not for pay.
So correct, it depends on how the statute classifies it, is my point, right? So
Okay.
for the purposes of unemployment insurance, for example, the elected town clerk would not be considered a quote employee, because when you lose an election or no longer are an elected official, you don't get to
couldn't
collect unemployment insurance.
Okay.
Right.
all right, thank you.
Well, the questions are big because you have somebody who's been here for, say, 15 years. And now there's gonna be an election of an unknown. We don't feel, and we pay for two people. And many towns our size do not. So we don't feel like we're gonna be putting that same amount in the budget for next year.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I have,
Doesn't matter.
so those are all arguments about why you want or you don't want the position,
Oh.
right?
When do we have to know what that budget is? I thought you said or the town clerk claimed that we have to have an amount for the person being elected, but they chose to be elected.
No, we
And
don't
the
have to
budget is not
have
gonna be
that.
set.
We do not
No.
have to have that until annual town
Yeah,
meeting.
you don't have to
Okay,
have it
thank you.
tonight, no.
No,
So it's an unknown.
Yeah, it's, you talking about the password?
is it like
I
Back
think
to the Future?
TWE, TWJ,
Just DWG.
yeah.
Thank you.
and
With caps.
What is it, Back to the Future?
Into.
into the future. Only the first letter of each of the words is capitalized,
Okay.
and it's all one word. So capital N.
So you're Back to the Future and Sabrina's Into the Future. Which is it?
No, it's into. Yeah, it's into.
Well, I'm going into the future.
Nope, is into one word or two words?
One word. It's all one.
No spaces.
No, I know it's all, but I lowercase n.
Oh, only the I think.
Is capital.
Into, and then the is
The.
capitalized.
Only the
Yes.
T is capital, and future, the F is capital.
Two,
Yes, I am.
all right, Article 3, that would be me to read.
So I think there's gonna be some discussion on that. The fire chief will be there to advocate for this being approved.
Okay,
So
I will also advocate for it being approved.
and we'll vote for it. And so 4 is back to you.
4 is me.
Brad,
But hang on a second, you had mentioned that you were looking to have 4 and 5 go at the end, is that correct?
Yeah, that's Brad, that's the, so here's where we would need that motion.
No, so in the beginning, if you want to take the articles out of order, somebody would ask to make a motion, somebody should tell the moderator, ask to make a motion to take the articles out of order and have articles 4 and 5 follow article 6.
Okay, Veronica, do you want to do that? before we do
Sure.
Article 1?
Martian, I'd like to make a motion to take Article 4 and 5 out of order
Mhm. And have them,
and have them follow Article 6.
Okay, so,
Okay, and I should tell John that when
Yeah.
I get in there. All right.
so that means that you're reading 6?
Oh, yeah, I guess it does mean that. So I will read 6. Go to Article 6. All right,
And then
you'll read 4.
I'll read 4, and then,
I'll read
which
5.
is the presentation of the school. So I'm just gonna read that, and Brad is gonna do his presentation, And you're gonna read 5?
I can read 5, yeah. And are we going to adjust? Well,
Yeah, so I would do that in the motion, so you're not having to do an amendment.
right, so I
So-
would do it right here,
Yeah, I would move to raise and appropriate the sum of whatever your change is.
611, what number did you
What is
come?
it?
611, 363.00. All right, and so make the motion second, and then should I say to Mr. Moderator, we have a report that Nelson would then go into
Yep.
his presentation. That's what I would do.
Okay.
And then you will, in your presentation, do the 611, 363, those 3 slides, and then also say that you should expect on the ballot to also see a question for the additional amount. And that the question to approve that will follow at annual town meeting.
Mhm.
And that,
Appropriate, the question to appropriate the funds.
At annual town meeting.
mhm. So that would be for Nelson, the question to appropriate. I won't say that.
Right.
Just say, Mr. Moderator, we have a report.
Yeah, and then we'll prepare those 2 questions for you for tomorrow's meeting, and then you can vote them to send them over to the town clerk.
Okay. When do we have to have the ballot in to be printed for the 28th?
You have 35, you are required to give it at least 35 days in advance.
Calendar
Town meeting,
days.
Calendar days.
So that would be by the 23rd, roughly?
If it's the 25th, yeah, I would, if I were you, I would do it, your next meeting is until the 18th,
Yeah.
right? So tomorrow night and the 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might want to do it tomorrow night.
Can we add it to the
Yeah,
agenda?
I've already talked to Nelson.
Yeah, we're
Do
gonna,
it in the morning after the meeting tonight.
yeah, we're gonna revise the agenda to make sure we have language about
Okay.
to vote on questions for the
Yeah.
ballot. Because the way it's worded right now, it's too ambiguous, so.
I just want to add it just to make sure there's no doubt about it.
Yes, I do think we
So
need to
we'll
put
send
that
that
through the
down
ballot.
tomorrow morning.
Okay,
You want to go back to the clerk question for a second? I can tell you about the
Yes.
salaries.
yes.
So I've just looked at 2 of my town warrants, and the way they deal with the elected officials, it says this to fix the salaries and compensation. So that's salaries and benefits, right? Both of them.
And compensation.
And compensation. The other one calls it, the other one sets it and said amount to be the full compensation for the services of the town clerk. Now, I know that in these 2 instances, those town clerks get full benefits, and that's why they call it benefits, excuse me, salary and compensation.
So
Or just
we have to
compensation.
enumerate that amount
Well,
in the,
Yeah, so in both of them, it's a total number,
okay,
and then they say that number is the salary and compensation. They don't break it down.
I'm gonna look at a warrant here from prior. I had always just assumed they were benefited. I never even questioned it until Kathy told us that she was not benefited. And that was like a shock to me, but it immediately helped me to understand why there was the feeling that she did not have to follow the policies of the
Well, but
select board.
you still don't have to, right? And that's an elected independent position, right? So they
But if
don't.
it's appointed, it's not elected.
Yes,
Correct.
yes.
If it's
But
appointed,
I never
you do.
thought about
But
it
if it's
one way or
elected,
the other.
they're on their own. So
Yeah.
like if you have an elected planning board, they are not beholden to anybody, right?
Mhm.
So elected town clerk, not
Well, we
beholden
think
to
we're
anybody.
beholden to the town.
Yeah, but typically, you're not technically, right?
Yeah,
So,
I understand. It's just that she was always elected and I just always kind of equated the 2 until
It's
it
been
was, I am
elected for so many
unbenefited.
years, nobody ever questioned.
Yeah, yeah. But let me see how the wording is. Annual town, oh, that's
Do you
election.
want me to print another 50 copies?
Well, if Adam has been reviewing, maybe we've done it the right way.
Well,
Or
as I said,
maybe
sometimes
nobody ever
it-
thought about it.
Yeah, some towns, I'm gonna look because I know I have one town that puts it in the budget and not as a separate warrant article, but they call it out, salary benefits of town clerk in the budget. And that's okay too, because it's voted on.
It says, I move the town vote to fix the salaries and compensation of all elected officers of the town.
That's it.
As provided by Mass General Law.
Yeah.
And as amended and as appropriated in the warrant.
Yep.
Okay, so we have
You
been
do it.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all
And
right,
it's just
so I
one-
feel
one
better.
person.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
feel better.
I would be surprised if you weren't. So, yeah,
I just never thought about it.
But when she said she didn't get benefits, that's what threw it off.
That's what made me
She
think,
was
well, I'm
benefited.
surprised it's not a choice, but
what do you
Okay.
mean?
like,
Well, you can choose not to have,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Okay, not to take.
No, so
or-
cute.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, is the school people here already? Oh, okay.
Are we seeing anything here?
No,
Okay.
they just here. So this is their handout.
Oh,
this is the one that Kelly brought, correct?
No, this
No.
is from Brad himself.
This is from Brad?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
I think I've seen
Can you tell me
this.
what the number is that's gonna be on
This
Article
is
5?
school.
Yeah, 611,363.
Thank you.
So this isn't, is there a trash presentation coming up at Iron County? Or
There's no
that's
need.
Tomorrow night, okay. Okay, it's just this. Okay,
That's at 6:15, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. All right,
so,
And then,
I should check that.
we kind of glossed over Article 6, which will be taken out of order. We're just correcting a previous special town meeting where we
I
had
was gonna
the
say.
the map block and lot
Lot
number wrong.
I need
so-
to verify this.
No,
Yes, it is the correct one.
so my question is, if this doesn't pass, given that we have a vote for this already, but with the wrong map block lot, that's off by what, one digit?
But it's not been sold yet, right?
It has
No,
not been
it has
sold, no. It has, the building has only just been vacated.
Oh, this is
So-
the one.
Yes, so,
Yeah, so,
so if it wouldn't pass, what is the effect? We can't sell it? Okay.
because
So it's
before
as
we can't
if-
sell
So it's as if the other vote never took place.
it. Yes,
Okay. All right. That's helpful.
Yeah, so I think when it's open for discussion, we'll just simply state, yeah, the map block and lot number was incorrect at the
Okay.
special town meeting.
So on Article 3, the fire truck,
Uh,
are you set up to project the contract and the agreement, the change agreement?
Yeah, I can do that.
Just be teed up to do it. I don't know if it's needed, but Gary told me that it was number 2 and number 8 are the two things that allowed the change.
so just to recap. Article 1 is me stating take no action.
Yeah.
And I read the article and say no action? Or just say
No,
take-
you just take the
Just
motion.
You don't read the article, no, just, I move to take no action.
Oh. And then Article 2 becomes Veronica.
Yes. Are you going to speak to that? I'm not sure how I'm voting on this, given what I learned from Lisa.
I can speak to it. I don't have all the information I was hoping for, but I can just speak to why I brought it up to begin with.
Okay.
You know, where we are today, and because of the resignation, we have this opportunity to have this be an employee, you know, go through the process of vetting and qualifications
Okay.
versus just elected by popular vote. And then the budget part becomes totally separate that we deal with for the annual.
Yes, for the annual town meeting. That's a whole separate issue.
Okay,
All right.
so is that, I mean, that's all I can do,
Mhm.
is simply say, I
Yes.
expect it from a business point of view anyway.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. Oh, before we even begin, I'm doing the motion to take Articles 4 and 5 out of order.
Right.
Right, you're before Article 1. Okay.
Yes. 2 stars on that. All right.
And I don't read anything about the warrant posting. That's by the moderator, right?
No, that's all moderator stuff.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's just when it gets to the articles, he takes care of running the meeting.
You make your motions and make arguments.
And I read 3.
You read 3, yeah. And I will talk to this if Gary doesn't. We'll see who John, but I just think it's,
Okay.
I'm disappointed in the FinCom's statement as far as this
I
one
am too
goes.
for a few things, but they're entitled to their opinion
Yes, they are.
and their vote.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next one is Article 6. Anything else on Article 3?
No. Okay, Article 6 is you.
Article 6, I will read the motion on that.
Okay. And then I read 4.
You read
And Brad
4.
does his presentation.
Yep.
And then you read 5.
I read 5, and I have to remember the second. And I will say, Mr. Moderator, we have a report for number 5. And I'll let John know that when I tell him about the other. So,
And then Nelson takes that over.
and I'm good with this. Okay, so
Okay.
So our next meeting is March 11th at 5 p.m. here in the Selectmen's Chambers. And I would like to recognize, I received some emails and suggestions from some of the residents, and maybe I'll just read them for tomorrow night in work session.
Okay.
Sabrina, I can let you know. Okay, and I'll let you know what that's in reference to.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 6:30. We're at 5 something.
no, it's 6:32. They haven't changed that clock yet.
Okay. It's been tough all day, let me tell you. 6:32 p.m.
I make a motion that we adjourn at 6:32 p.m.
And I second. All those in favor, roll call.
Veronica Kell, yes.
And Laura Schiffern, yes.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
and see you all at 7.